Welcome back to FM Story. In this episode of the Galatasaray rebuild, we end our final season with Galatasaray by trying to add the Turkish Cup to our already won league title. So without further ado, let's get going. If you do enjoy this video, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. We've got rebuild videos every Monday and Thursday. We ended the previous episode with us picking up the league title after beating Besiktas in the league. We begin this episode with a big game against Fenerbahce in the first leg of the semi-final of the Turkish Cup. We do have quite a few issues in terms of the selection, in that we've got two players out injured in Serif Sahin and Kubo, and we've got a lot of players who are really struggling for fitness, like Lorenzo Luca, Fagioli, and Sasha Bowie, who are not really fit enough to even be playing. But we've still got a fairly strong team. We've got the players on the bench if we need them to come on. And hopefully we can get something in this away leg. Right. Chicaldo, Imam Ali. Don't think that was a foul. It didn't look like a foul, just by the way the ball went. Unless he's gone right the way through him to get the ball. Didn't think so. We were absolutely... I mean, we had 11 shots, but I don't think we saw any of them. Good save. Cut open far too easily there, though. Bring the big man on and he scores. Even with two men marking him, he still manages to lose them and flick that header to the far post. We've certainly not played particularly well, but we've won. We've got the advantage going into a home second leg. Going into the second leg against Fenerbahce, we've played 3 league games. We drew 3-3 against Fenerbahce in the league, which was a really rotated team, even more so than the team we played in the cup game. And then we've beaten Antalyaspor and Gaziantepspor 1-0 and 3-0, fairly comfortable victories. Going into the second leg, we've got more of our players back. We are still struggling in terms of some of the fitness of some of the players. It's a stronger team that we're putting out. So hopefully we can get the job done at home and find ourselves in the final so we can have another trophy before we feel Leo's injured by the looks of things. It looks like they're getting ready to put him down on the touchline. And they're passing the ball around with ease at the back. We're not going to get on the end of that. Is that offside? No. Just so happens that the linesman decided to stand there. Yeah, we got caught out there. Dersoglu, they think's got a twisted knee but can play through it. It doesn't sound particularly... Right, that's just not good enough. Van Aanholt. I mean, that looked like a dive. Alpazan steps up to have another penalty saved, presumably. Thank God for that. Right. We got a bit lucky there in that we didn't take the chances that we could have done. We could have made that game a lot safer than it was. But we're in the final. Because we've already wrapped up the league, we can rest players between now and then as well. So hopefully we can add the Turkish Cup to the league before we sign off with Galatasaray. We've made it to the final of the Turkish Cup. We're playing Trabzonspor. Since the second leg against Fenerbahce, we drew 0-0 in the league with Konyaspor and we beat Kayserispor 4-0 away from home just to end the season. So we ended on 100 points with a goal difference of plus 89. We scored 116 goals and only conceded 27 in 38 games. So the defence was pretty strong. And obviously we won the league, as you can see there, by 24 points. In terms of the sort of player stats, Lorenzo Luca top scorer with 28. Obviously, looking at this, we're going to have to be very careful going into the final because Cornelius with 26 and Bakasetas with 22. Lorenzo Luca the highest average rating, Victor Nelson second. Lorenzo Luca most players of the match, most clean sheets for Kakia. Obviously, Erdogan's going to be someone we need to keep an eye out for in this final. He had second most assists in the league. Going into the final, we've got pretty much as strong a team as we can put out. Alpazan, who's played the last 2 games in the cup, suspended for the final. So Mark Cowan is playing partner in Victor Nelson. We do have our full strength midfield, and then in terms of the wide areas, we've got the 2 that have been most consistent for us this season, but none of them have particularly been consistent. Obviously, we're going to have to keep an eye on Cornelius and Bakasetas up front, and Erdogan's obviously creating lots of goals for them as well. But hopefully, we have enough about us to see off Trabzonspor and end the season with the cup as well as the league. We've had a few chances, but not good enough to see highlights for. They don't seem to have attacked much. Can we get... Oh, Luca wins the ball at the near post and flicks it in. I mean, I'm not quite sure what the keeper was doing there, but we'll take it. 1-0 up. Going to be red. It is. Right, don't do anything stupid. Right, now can we break Eunice? To Lorenzo Luca, we're getting people in the box. They've nicked it clear. Somali. It's to the byline. Chicaldo, I mean, their defence just seemed to kind of leave it to the keeper, who came a long way and didn't get anywhere near it. Somali goes to the byline. Cross hits the defender. The keeper comes miles out, doesn't get anywhere near it, and Chicaldo basically had a free header to nod it in to an empty net. 2-0 at half time. I mean, obviously we've dominated that half. They've only had 1 shot. We've had 60% possession. They're down to 10 men as well. Hopefully we can turn the screw in the second half and make it even more comfortable. Oh, and Lorenzo Luca's got another. It's his 46th goal of the season in all competitions. By and large, they've done a great job over the 3 seasons. And there's Lorenzo Luca with another. And that's his hat-trick. A hat-trick of headers from corners. We could have potentially done with him scoring a few more of those in Champions League games that we got knocked out in against Bayern Munich and last season and against Barcelona this season. And there we go. We've added the Turkish Cup to the league. Not a bad way to end the rebuild save. And that's us finished with another trophy. And now it's time for the end of season review. So in terms of arrivals this season, we only actually signed 3 players. So we signed Sengiza as a backup goalkeeper because Muslera had retired in the summer. He was only called upon for 6 games, but played well. We bought Fuat Sultan as a further backup, again from the same club. He only was required in 1 game. And Kubo we brought in from Real Madrid as a replacement for Gavi in the midfield, who we'd had on loan for the previous 2 seasons. He played 38 games in all competitions, 7 goals and 10 assists, and did not too bad. He started the season not great, and then as the season went on, he got better. In terms of outgoings, we sold a few players who weren't really going to ever challenge for places. Yildirim was probably the only one that was going to come close to that. But really, we'd only had him in the squad in terms of the registration rules for the Turkish Cup. And as he'd got older, he sort of fell out of those. So that's why we moved him on. So in terms of the league, expectation was to win it. We did. Lorenzo Luca, 28 goals, was brilliant. We lost 2 games and drew 4. Ended up with 100 points as we saw before. And yeah, a great performance. I mean, if you look at some of the teams that you would expect to be a bit higher up the league, Besiktas only finished 7th. Istanbul Başakşehir only finished 10th. Might have something to do with the fact that we took the 2 goalkeepers off them. But overall, we did okay in the league. In terms of the Champions League, the expectation was to be competitive. We made it through a really tough group. Somehow, we qualified ahead of Paris Saint-Germain, who only finished 3rd in the group. We won the home leg against Barcelona, but then we were in the game. We started chasing. We went down, had a player go off injured, so we finished with 10 men, started chasing the game, and ended up losing 6-2 on the night to lose 6-3 on aggregate. In the Turkish Cup, obviously, as we've just seen, we've just beaten Trabzonspor. Pretty straightforward run this season in the cup. The semi-final was a bit tenser than it needed to be. Lorenzo Luca was the top goal scorer in the competition with 11 goals. And we also won the Super Cup, beating Fenerbahce at the start of the season. So in terms of the season, obviously, Lorenzo Luca, player of the season, young player of the season. Kubo was signed in the season. Luca got goal of the season, top goal scorer with 47 in all competitions. That was 47 in 46 games. Just brilliant. We really struggled to hold on to him in the summer. Just glad we were able to hold on to him. He's wanted by Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, or Man United, so I think he's probably moving on this summer once we leave. Chicalda with 17 assists in all competitions. And yeah, I mean, most overall goals in the season for Luca, most clean sheets for Kikir. Just really top-notch performance. And Lorenzo Luca sort of swept the awards in the competitions as well. And that's it for this episode. It's also the end of our time at Galatasaray. There will be another episode where we just quickly run through what we achieved in the 3 years we were at Galatasaray, and also what we're going to do is we're going to just go forward 5 years just to find out what happens to Galatasaray, what happens to some of the players that we've had, some of the players we've signed. The likes of Lorenzo Luca, as we just saw, are wanted by clubs. It's unlikely he's going to stick around, so we'll find out what happens from there.